From Long Island, New York, it's the Jeff Denny Show. Writer, composer, teacher, and virtuoso guitarist, Gibson Steinberger endorsed, and owner of the music station in Shirley, New York. Get ready for Jeff Denny! This week, up-close guitar lessons. Interesting interviews this week. Jules Radino from the Blue Oyster Cults. Video of the week with the Jeff Denny Band. Analog to digital, home recording clinic, and so much more. Stay tuned for the Jeff Denny Show.
Alright, good afternoon everybody, and now for our first guitar lesson online. This first lesson is going to be about Eruption, one of the best guitar solos in the world. And I'm going to show you the intro and just the very first few parts, and every week we're going to take apart. How you practice it is very important. We're going to talk about that too. Let's start with first listening to the intro. You do need a whammy bar to do this. So get out your guitar with a whammy bar, make sure you got a good locking nut system on it, and let's start. Right from the beginning you're going to be doing a finger slide, a hand slide down the pick like this, down the neck like this. Just like that, you can pick it. Now the tablature might say to start at 18 or 15 or 12. It really doesn't matter because your first note you're not even going to hear. You're going to be like sliding in like this. When you get to the end, you're going to make an A chord, and you just really need to get the first three strings of the A. And you could block the E with your thumb. If you look, I have very little fingers, so you should have no problem doing this. A, block the E, so that you could strike the whole, and the E won't ring out. That's part of a muting system that you want to be aware of, okay? So then you have your first note is a 7 on the 5th string. And there's a really long, a wide vibrato in there. Even though the music says that it's a bend, it's really just a wide vibrato. Then you have these palm muted notes with a little pinch harmonic on the end. Again. This intro part is very important that you get it right. It sets the pace for the rest of your performance on this song. Just keep practicing it over and over until you get it nice and solid. You now have a 5 and a 5 and an 8-5 pull off to 0. And that sounds like this. You can hear the pitches of the notes. Pay attention to those pitches. It's the second string first, then going to a higher pitch. You hear that? Listen again. And then a pull off on the second string. The pull off goes from 8 to 5 to 0. So again, it's, and then from there, Eddie just does this. What a great little riff. So now you got... Now if you want, you can do what I like to do, and that's to use my third finger on this note, and then my pinky on this note. Let's take it from a more easy to understand point of view. If you start it with your third finger on this 8, on the third string, then hit an open E, first string, listen to this, okay, and then it goes, and then the pull off. Now listen to that again. Now I'm going to repeat it. Now I'm going to do it without the space in between. Go. That's a very fast chop. And he's got a little harmonics in there. So it's... I hope you enjoyed that guitar lesson. Now we're going to do an interview with Mr. Jules Radino from Blue Oyster Cult. Everybody out there in TV land, and this is our interesting interviews section of our show. We don't have a lot of time, so we're going to rush through a few questions with Mr. Jules Radino from Blue Oyster Cult.
How's everyone doing out there?
All right, Jules, it's good to have you here today.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
You're welcome, man. We know you travel all around the world, so to take this quick time with you, we want to ask you a few questions. One, who are you playing with these days?
Well, I'm still playing with Blue Oyster Cult. Been with them for about 9 years, and that's been a blast. And I'm also playing with a country artist, a Long Island country artist, Lisa Matassa.
Very good,
I try to juggle both, both
I remember
acts.
she has a song that I've heard advertised, Me Time.
Yeah. Great stuff. Somebody's Baby's another one, and then she has a single out now called I Won't Ask, which I actually played drums on, which I was really thrilled about.
Awesome,
so,
man.
Yeah, she's great. Definitely check her out, Lisa Matassa.
Oh, great. And Jules, what's it like to be a rock and roll father?
It could be tough at times. I have a 5-year-old son, Julius, and he's the best. But it could be tough, traveling a lot and not being home. But we really don't go away. We don't go on tour for 2 or 3 months at a time. It's more weekend stuff, or we'll go out for, a week to 3 weeks at a time. So it's not as crazy as you think. And I have the opportunity at times to bring my family out. And, we just played the Minnesota State Fair this past summer. And I was able to bring my wife, Heather, and my son to the show. And then he actually got to play cowbell on Reaper, which was, that was just amazing.
Oh, that's great.
So
and I know he keeps good time. I've seen him in the music station before.
Yeah.
And he plays the drums so well.
Yeah, he loves it. He plays the drums.
He's like good.
Yeah, he could play. I was taking him to open mic jams during the summertime. I don't know how good that was, but it was a lot of fun. So
yeah, that sounds good.
He knows his way around the instruments for sure.
You have an online lesson site also, don't you?
I do. In addition, I do teach at the music station.
That's right, you teach at the music station.
And that's amazing. Anybody out there in Suffolk County, come on down and, got great drum lessons with me. And they teach everything else. But aside from that, I do have an online drum lesson site called JulesRadinoLessons.com. I'm just getting it off the ground, and it just gives an opportunity to people who can't study with me one-on-one if you live in North Dakota or Florida or wherever you may be, anywhere in the world. You could be in Prague, and I can give you a lesson.
That's
so
great.
It could be pretty good.
And
A lot of
that's-
people doing it.
And that's JulesRadino.com?
JulesRadinoLessons.com. But you can get me from JulesRadino.com.
Okay, so you could, it's easy to find. Come on down to his site, check him out.
And if you can't do that, come on down to the music station.
Right, and you're also doing some kind of an artist.
Oh, I teach at a program at the prestigious Drummers Collective in New York City. I'm an artist in resident over there, and there's a bunch of us, and they're just getting this project going, and we'll be able to teach. If you're in the New York City area, you go to Drummers Collective, and you can study with a bunch of different teachers and artists.
That's great.
Yeah.
Hey, Jules, another thing. While you're on tour, you're always traveling all over the world. I mean, sometimes you called me from Switzerland once, and I was like, wow, you know. And I know you travel all over. You've been in Denmark, Germany, Ireland, Italy, and out of all the places, what's your favorite place? Your favorite?
I mean, there's a
town?
lot of great places. We just got back from Australia this past summer, and that was amazing. I really love London. London is great, English speaking, so that's
right, Ted.
huge. Yeah, exactly. Scotland's great. You know, the country of Scotland is always. You know, I really dig the English speaking countries, but you know, they're all pretty amazing. You know?
That's cool. All right, we got a couple of more questions for you. What about, how about telling us a funny story that you might have had with Blue Oyster Cult on the road?
Let me think. One that comes to mind is when me and Richie Castellano, another great guitar player who's in Blue Oyster Cult, we joined about the same time. I think he got into the band a week before I did.
He plays guitar, right?
Plays guitar, you know, check him out, richiecastellano.com, just amazing, YouTube sensation. But we were playing a gig, and we're leaving the show. We just played. It was a big fair or something, and there was all this traffic, and this cop was directing the band. You got to make a left and to get out of the parking lot. But there was all this traffic, and Eric Bloom, the singer of BOC, he's driving, and he's like, "We're in the band. We need to go. We need to go left, not right. We don't want to be with the traffic. We want to avoid the traffic." He's like, "Oh, you guys sing that song, Go Go Gorilla." He's like, "Yeah, that's the tune," and he let us go. And Richie and I, we're in the back seat, and we're hysterical. Like, this is like our second gig, and we got the, you know, Go Go Gorilla, which is really Godzilla.
That's pretty funny.
And that was, and you know, that story still has legs to this day. It's pretty funny. So that was a funny moment.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. But it's a lot. There's a lot of funny moments on the road. It's a good time. It's a good crew of people, and they couldn't be nicer guys.
Jules, I got to tell you, we've met some of the guys from Blue Oyster Cult, and we know Richie too, and we just think they're great guys. And you're a very blessed guy. We're happy to have you teaching.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be on the show. I'm happy to be a part of the team with the music station, and yeah, come on down, kids, and check out the store. It's a great place.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Jeff. All right, we'll see you next time. Today's daily beat, let's just have some fun. We're going to break up a triplet between your hands and your feet. It'll sound like this. I'm using double bass, of course, so it's 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And then I'm going to add a backbeat with my left hand. And I'm actually counting it 1 triplet, N triplet, 2 triplet, N triplet, 3 triplet, N triplet, 4 triplet, N triplet.
That's your daily beat.
And now we're going to do analog to digital, that home recording clinic that helps you to understand different aspects of recording music into your computer and making a CD out of it. Check it out. Hello everybody and welcome to Analog to Digital. Today we're going to talk about how to get music into your home recording studio, how to get it from the analog state to the digital domain. What is an interface? All right, that's a good question. An interface is the unit that goes in between your recording hardware and your microphone or your guitar or anything that you're going to record. That's pretty simple. The audio interface that I'm using is the RME Fireface UFX. It's a top-of-the-line unit. You could pick it up for about $2,200. Sometimes you could get it on sale. But it is one of the best in consumer home recording, even pro home recording. There are 4 XLR mic preamps, which are pretty high-end. In the back, there are 8 more analog quarter-inch inputs. Then we have 2 phone jacks, so you could have separate phone mixes from your phone jacks. Then we have 2 MIDI ins and outs. The ones on the front are MIDI 2 in and outs, and actually there's 2 more in the back. Oh, by the way, this is a USB or FireWire card. I prefer to use the USB. It's a little bit more friendly to the computer. This is a standalone card, which means you don't even have to have your computer on, and it'll still act as a sound card between your amplifier, and so you can actually hear yourself playing. I also use a Focusrite Octo Pre Mark II Dynamic for additional set of 8 inputs. And for an additional 8 tracks in the studio, 8 channels in the studio, we use this Digimax D8 made by Presonus. I don't really like the Presonus stuff, but I don't record with it. I'm just using it for additional channels. Now for my guitar, I use the Axe-Fx 2, which is a really great unit. I go direct into the sound card, which goes right into the computer direct. And I do that with the Axe-Fx 2. It's a great unit. It gives me the best sound that you could possibly get. It has great amp simulation and speaker simulation. Then we have our vocal booth, which you're going to take a look at. This little booth here is a room that's about 6 by 8, and it's a great little room. We have Auraflex, which is fire retardant, and that's on the walls. We also have a keyboard in here. We have a tube microphone made by Peluso. It's a great mic for the money. Also in our recording studio, we have the hearback system. Now the hearback system allows each individual person for a live recording to mix their own sound, whatever they need to hear in their headphones. They would mix it right in and it would sound great. I love the hearback system. It works perfectly. It's clear, loud, and powerful. Each player can hear what mix they want. They make their own mix. You could have up to 8 separate mixes. That means if you have a keyboard, a guitar, and a drummer, and a vocalist, they each can mix themselves to hear whatever makes them comfortable for a great creative atmosphere. Along with the Peluso microphone, we also have, amongst many microphones, a pair of the beautiful 414 XL. These are condenser microphones. They require a 48 volt power. And these are great for overheads, singing. We like to use them on the drums. You could record guitar with them, but mostly we use them for overheads on the drums and for singing. I work over at the music station located in Shirley, right off of Montauk Highway. Stop in and say hello. If you have any questions, write into the show. Go to our Facebook page, The Jeff Denny Show. Please email all your questions to onefreelesson@optonline.net. And now we're going to do live music of the week with the Swingin' D's. Take it away.
Around on the corner with the spirit for cheer. I started thinking, I started thinking, don't let me listen to that hair. From the shop you thought you were me, run out of money. Where do you go now? The only thing you can. Music execution is the top of revolution. Bring it in here. Let it go. Get on the road. The road. The radical. Get on the road. You know I'm a radical. On the road. The road.
And now for a drum lesson with Steve Klein.
How you doing, everybody? A couple of quick tips. Double stroke roll. Add one stick before you start your double stroke roll. It changes it from 2. If I take my right hand and I move it around the drum set, it's a completely different feel by adding one stroke. Now if I add a bass drum, you get this kind of thing going on. Double, 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 So it's just the same exact sticking added on the kit. A little quicker. Add it as a groove in a fill. Quick tip number 2, Swiss Army triplet. Add a flam in the front. It's a simple rudiment that can be used pretty effectively. Last one. Quick tip number 3. 6 strokes. 4 on top. 5, 6. It can be played with a single bass drum or a double bass drum. My hands here. Last thing, float my hand back and forth, my right hand.
Hi, my name is Ryan Formato, and welcome to my first Lick of the Week. This will be a continuing series, ongoing as long as it continues to be requested. Alright, so let's get on. The first Lick of the Week is going to be basically in the style of what's called legato. The legato style is what you guys will be familiar with if you ever listen to Steve Vai, Joe Satriani. The style is kind of like this. It's very smooth. Basically, everything sounds super silky, kind of liquid. Okay? So what we're going to do is basically strengthen your hand up. That way you can handle these kind of exercises. Alright, the first thing you're going to want to do when completing a legato exercise is making sure your left hand is in the correct formation. So what you have to do is, first off, make sure your first finger is adjacent to the second string here. If our riff is going to be 8, 5, 7, 8, 7, 5 on the first string. So it has to touch this string here to make sure that it mutes out. Your right hand is going to take care of all these lower strings so they don't ring out. So when you play the riff, it's going to sound something like this. And you can hear there's no other noise coming out while this is on. The right hand takes care of the lower strings, and your first finger takes care of the second string. Okay? Alright, so now let's just take a look at how you're going to acquire some speed. Well, first off, you're going to play this riff in triplets. Okay? So you're going to have 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And you'll also notice that the third and fourth fingers here are perfectly curved, while the first finger does have some curvature over here. Okay, so you'll see that, but it's not going to be on its fingertips like that, because otherwise that second string will ring open. So again. Now when you practice it, I do recommend you play with a metronome, and I do recommend when you start obtaining speed and working for speed, you basically work from beat 1 of the first measure to beat 1 of the second measure. So you're going to have 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. So, and what you can even start doing is little, what we call speed bursts. So you're working for like small little sections to get from here to there again. Okay, so you can see that your left hand's going to gain a lot of agility out of this. Now that's in the 1-3-4 position. That's probably the toughest of the bunch, but it's going to definitely work with finger independence. You're going to have to definitely work on that 3rd, 4th finger thing going on here. The next one I would do is basically that same kind of pattern, but now in this position. So again, you can see this time using the 4-2-1. This one probably will feel a little bit easier for you because there's not as much as the problems aren't as big as when we're referring to finger independence. Okay, so that's that 4-2-1. And again, I would be taking it at a speed extremely slow until your fingers get the hang of it and you start building up that muscle memory. And again, your right hand is here in the corner the entire time. Okay? The last one I would work on out of this bunch, actually there's 2 more, is a little bit of a wider opening. So something like 7, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3. So again, you can see that you can build this stuff up real quick, and your left hand's really not going to get tired once you build up the stamina. In the beginning, you may feel some pain here, a couple other areas, but that's going to go away over time. Okay, the last version I would do is probably a little bit higher up the neck, and you're definitely going to want to use your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd finger over here. Just so you get used to not just doing with everything with the pinky. So let's say you're up here with the 15, 12, and 14. You may want to approach this one with the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Okay, so again, now you're back to the speed burst kind of idea. So again, make sure you're always keeping track of your speed on the metronome. That way you know what the last beat per minute that you had when you last left off here. Okay, so with that being said, let's just go through them all one more time. You have this one. This is the 1-3-4 up to the 1-2-4 to the 1-2-4 with a wider interval until the 1-2-3 up here. Okay, this is all in the key of E minor. This would be like going through Ionian. This would be through the Dorian, Phrygian, and Aeolian. Okay. So thanks for checking out the video. Again, you can check out my website at www.ryanformato.com. And I hope you learned something. And if you want to learn anything else, give me an email or a shout out at ryan@ryanformato.com. And check out the music while you're there. All right, thanks for checking me out.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Jeff Denny Show. We're going to do some beginner guitar lessons right now. We're going to teach you how to switch from chord to chord. So stay with me. All right. Woohoo! Well, hello everybody, how you doing? All right, well today, like I said, we're going to be checking out how to switch from chord to chord. That always seems to be a hassle. So going from one chord to the other isn't that hard if you use the target method. That's right. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the chord, and then we're going to target one finger to the new chord. So all I did was move my first finger down 2 strings. That's it. And then I'm going to strum. And you want to be able to do this to the beat. So it's going to go like this. It's going to go 1 and move, strum. One more time. 1 and move, strum. See that beat? Okay. Once I get one finger there, I'll be able to put the second finger there. This one finger here is my target note. So I'm moving from the G chord to the D chord, and what I'm doing is I'm just moving one finger. I'm training one finger to move. 1 and strum. Okay, so that it goes with the beat. All right, one more time. 1 and run, strum. Okay? And I played it a little faster just then. All right, so now, once I get one finger, then I can add the other finger. So I put this finger, then the other finger, and strum. So now I'm going to go like this. 1 and finger the other finger, strum. And it's going to go with a beat. Here we go. 1 and 1, strum. Now I have two fingers. Once I get the two fingers, I'll easily be able to put my third finger right in the middle. So it's going to go 1 and 1, strum. And now you're able to do that. Once you're able to do that, you just turn the beat up faster. 1 and 1, strum. And then you do it a couple of times. Just like that. Until you're able to go back and forth. Okay, now, once you do that, you can work on your secondary chord. This would go from D to C. D, and I'm going to again move my first finger to C right there. So now I'm going to go D, first finger down one, strum. You have to do it with a tempo, otherwise the program won't work. Alright, so we're starting from the D chord. And I'm going to move my first finger to the second string, first fret, strum. One more time. From D, strum the chord, and then move the first finger. Strum. Again, D, first finger, strum. Once I get my first finger there, I'm going to put my second finger on the fourth string, second fret. Right there. So now I'll go back to the D. I go D, 1, first finger, second finger, strum. Just like that. The key to this is using the tempo. So you can hear I'm tapping my foot. There's a little tempo going on right there, and it goes like this. 1 and strum. See that? Right? If you don't make it in time, slow the strum down. Slow the beat down, okay? So it's going to go like this now. D. And now I got two fingers there. Once I get the two fingers there, I'll add the third finger. Now, if it doesn't come out perfectly clean, it's okay in the beginning. To help out to make it perfectly clean, what you want to do is when you put your third finger, it's okay if the third finger is sloppy onto the sixth string. It could block the sixth string because we don't want it in the chord anyway. We just want this note in the chord. Practice holding this note, okay? Then this one, and then finally the first. Then do it the other way. 1. Second finger on, and then the third. Let the flesh of your second finger touch that fifth string. See right there? My G string my E string is alive, holding the G note down. But the fifth string is muted. The fourth string is open. The third string is open. The second string is open. And the first string has got my G note right there. See that? So really a G chord is just these three notes open. I don't even need to put any fingers down. But to get the bass note in there, I want to like that, see? So to go from C to G, I'm going to use my target note, just like that. 1 and there. That's like the easiest change in the world. Then I'll add my third finger on the first string. So now I'm going to go 1 and 2 and start. And that gives me a beat and enough time to move my fingers there. As time goes on, I'll make the beat faster. 1 and 2 and start. Okay? Then I'll reduce the amount of beats in between. I'll go 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2. Just like that. 1 E and a 2. 1 E and a 2. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the music station. Welcome to the Jeff Denny Show. This is our interesting interviews part of our show. Tonight we have a very special guest. We have Mr. Frank Latorre, who lives right here in Suffolk County. And I just want to say a few things about Frank that I know, and I know there's a longer list that goes on. Frank is not only one of the best harmonica players to me, and also to the county, and even the state. Frank won a bunch of Memphis competitions. He's also a fine artist, and he's won competitions in art as well. And so, Frank, welcome to the studio. Good to see you. Thanks for blessing us today,
Hi, Jeff.
man.
How are you? How you doing?
I'm good, man. It's good to see you, man.
Good to be seen.
I remember we used to play chess over the phone.
I still have marks on my ceiling.
I have a lot of artwork in here from you, and actually our very own door, which I'm going to show a picture of later, has this great engraving that you used to do. You don't do the engraving anymore.
No, I don't do that.
And Bobby from across the street was just telling me that you did Cliff's also, his tattoo place. You did the whole front window in sand blasting and stuff.
Oh yeah, long time ago.
Yeah. But some of the things that the audience would like to know, a few things I'm going to ask, a few questions. But first I want to say you've played with Billy Joel's saxophone player, Richie Canada. You're on Johnny with this last album, and you also recorded another section with him recently. You've played with, I know, Rod Morgenstein from the Dixie Dregs. The list goes on. Who else have you played with?
I don't know, a lot of people. I played with you.
You were with
Played with all kinds of people that were out,
a huge. You're a huge success, and also you're a big star here. I mean, you were on the last Roots album Johnny Winter just did. Who he sounds better than ever, by the way. You know that he's got himself all cleaned up and looking good. I've always been a fan of his, and
yeah, he's doing great.
I've known you for 30 years. To see you coming around playing Johnny Winter, I'm like, oh my God, this is like a trip, man.
Yeah,
it's
a lot of fun.
Frank, you're also an artist. Now, what went on with West Hampton? You won a couple of competitions there with their posters and stuff.
Yeah, they do West Hampton, the Mary O. Fritsch Art Association in West Hampton. They do a poster contest every year. So 2011, I won. You know, they have like a bunch of entries, and then it's like a jury thing, and
right, they narrow it down.
They narrow it down. They pick whoever wins their poster is the poster that year. So 2011 I won, and then again in 2012.
Wow. Now
2013 got close, but they said they didn't.
They had too much of you.
They didn't want the same guy to win again, and I was kind of pissed because
I love all your artwork,
yeah.
man. You're right, though. You deserve to what's due.
Well, the painting I did in 2013 I liked better than the other 2 years, but it didn't work that way.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, there's a lot of politics in this business, so.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's
good
all
to have
good.
for somebody else to do.
You also were at the Vale, you were at every blues festival, and you've been out there. You're still playing with the King Bees, is that right?
Yeah, that's my.
When's your next show?
I'm working on a Saturday night thing right now, just a woodshed for the summer, because I just got a confirmation we're going to be every Saturday night at Cedar Beach, over at the Cedar Beach Beach Hut. I love playing there because you're outside. It's right on the,
Right on the water.
right on the water. Yeah.
The sound.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah, over on the North Shore, and that's a nice gig. So every Saturday we'll be there, and Saturday nights in the winter, we're doing a thing over at the place called the Hotel Fish out in Hampton Bays.
Oh, okay.
So on North Road.
Oh, that's great.
So that's fun there. It's like similar the vibe like what I used to do at the Eastport Luncheonette.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's bigger than the Luncheonette.
And people can come up and play?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
If
awesome.
they can play, I let them up. They can't play, I say, get out of here.
Frank, when did you start playing harmonica?
About the age of 12.
Okay, and just give me an idea of some of your influences.
My first influence with the harmonica was Paul Butterfield Blues Band.
Okay,
And it was
great player.
It was a record that was only put out by Singer, the sewing machine company. They had a couple of the labels under them at the time.
Wow.
And it was Paul Butterfield Live album. And I don't know, when I heard the harmonica, what he did on it, it just got me. I knew I had to learn how to do it.
Wow, that's cool. And Frank, you're teaching at the music station now, presently. So if somebody wanted to take some harmonica lessons, you could actually sign up with Frank at the music station. It's a temporary thing, we know that, because I know you're all over the place.
Yeah, it's fun. I did a lesson tonight, and the guy had a lot of fun with it.
That's good.
And the people are having fun, and they want to learn. I teach my art classes.
That's right. You have
I'll
art
teach
classes.
whatever I know how to do.
And
if people want to learn it.
It's not. But Frank, honestly, you've been gifted by God, in so many talents, Frank. It's not just what you know how to do. You happen to be top in your field. Frank also has artwork, and if you guys want to see, I'm going to display some of the artwork on the in the background. And if you want to purchase any of this artwork, they can go to your site to purchase. Or is that how they do it?
I do a lot by commission. Like if somebody has a painting that they want done,
Okay.
they could commission me to do work, or they could, if they go to I do some shows out in the Hamptons and stuff.
Okay.
And
so you do art shows,
yeah,
or
I do art shows.
but they can contact you through email or through your website.
Yeah, the website has all the contact information.
So Frank's out there playing harmonica. He's one of the favorite artists on Long Island. And another thing a lot of people don't know about Frank, and he doesn't brag at all, but he's a chef. And I've tasted some of his entrees. I've been to his house before, and he made dinner, and I was like blown away. I couldn't believe that you even made this. But you studied in a culinary school, is that correct?
Yeah, when I was 50-something when I went there. I was older than most of the teachers, but I just wanted to get a degree in it. I always loved to cook, and I figured I would just see if anything that I missed.
You make bread from the beginning, and also pasta and everything. It's amazing. I'm blessed to have you as a friend, and I've also have reaped the reward of having Frank as a friend. And we've done several shows together, and also we've gone away camping together on some memorable trips. Frank, I got to tell you, man, I'm glad that you stopped in today, and we're looking forward to a long relationship with you, even longer.
Good luck with
Thank
your
you.
show.
Thank you.
Because you will also be as good as the drummer at keeping the beat. So, metronome is an absolute must for me. Not everybody, but I usually try to gear all my students towards going to the metronome, because you want to be able to play with other musicians. If you can't play with a metronome, it's going to be hard to play in that band context. So I do especially want to. The most important section of this whole thing is number 4, because this is how to practice. This is what you can't learn from going on the internet and just, trying to figure out tabs and things like that. The most important is learning how to practice effectively. We'll start. Can you give me like 120?
That's old metal up there.
Jeff, 120.
Got it.
What this means is that there are 120 beats in a minute, thus you have a clicking sound going basically 2 times a second.
Like my heart.
Except double that. That's 120. So check this out. We're going to play that same arpeggio as we did that 3-note string. You notice I stay on the beat, it's 1E and a 2E and a 3. So it goes like that. Now, what you would do is boost up the speed a little bit, Jeff, to like 130 once you master it at that level. So now you're gonna get a little bit quicker. Let's take it up a notch to like 160. Okay. All right, let's take it like 190, and then we'll drop it in half. Okay. Okay, so you can see that I can keep up pretty good with that. So what we do is once you get too many clicks, it really is annoying. So you drop it in half. I'm going to drop it down to like 120 again, except this time I'm going to double my speed with it. Okay? So it's really like 240. You're on 120?
I'm on 120 now.
Alright, let's drop it up to like 160. Let's see how far I can take this. Alright, and that's okay. Once you can do like 4 or 5 times, you can boost up the speed again. Let's 180. Alright, I felt good about that one. 200.
Hi everybody. This is a quantum audio matchmaker, and what this is a direct box, and this is what we use to record the bass. Now if you see, there's a few different components on here. One is this is the PA jack, so it's an XLR, and from the XLR it goes right into your board or your recording audio interface. It goes right in from here so that you can record the bass directly. That's really a good way to go. We also send the bass into a preamp. I'll show you that in a second, which is really awesome. And the other side of this has 2 quarter-inch jacks. 1 quarter-inch jack would go into the bass amplifier input right here, and the other quarter-inch jack goes right into the bass guitar. So what's happening is the bass guitarist is playing directly into the direct box. Get it? Directly? Direct box. He plays directly in, and from here it goes into the amp so you can hear the sound, and from here it goes right to the board so you can record directly from the bass guitar. So this is the Quantum Audio Matchmaker. It's one of the best ones in the business. It's real solid. You could step on it. We also have these mic preamp made by Art. This is a really cheap one. We're selling it here at the music station for $25. It's used. It's cheap, but it has a tube in it, and it gives a warm sound. This will also add 48 volts to your condenser microphone. This will give it a warmer sound, so send your condenser mic through this. You could also send a bass guitar through this, or guitar. What it does is it warms up the sound a little bit, getting it ready for that crispy CD digital audio, okay? Alright, this is our preamp. This is a Great River preamp. These are one of the best preamps that we have. So we run our bass guitar from the studio. We run it from the direct box. So it goes right from the bass guitar to the direct box, right into this preamp, and from here it goes directly into our audio interface. This preamp is not as cheap. This is a high-end preamp, and this is a really good preamp. It warms up the sound really nicely and gives it some good tonal quality. Okay, thank you.